Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy. So, on today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this kaftan dress. It's a very simple style, it's beginners friendly, it's beautiful, and it's very easy to make. So, I achieved this style using 3 yards of fabric. So, this is how to fold it. Now, this is your Ankara, right? You're going to fold it like this, savage to savage, like this, and then you get the length you want. Do you understand? Because the normal Ankara length is 45 inches, and of course, it won't get your length if you're doing very long one. So you do it that part to get your length. But for me, I'll be using this Kampala material, and it's 47 inches length. So I'm using the 47 inches, and I will cut in 20 inches. That is the fold is 20 inches. And how I got my 20 inches is my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8, plus my sleeve length, which is 12. That is 20 inches. And I'll cut it two places, and I'll join them together like this. Alright, so let's continue. On the neck like this, I will come in by my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I will mark it. And at the end of this fabric, can you see? I will check what I have there. That is my 12 inches. That is my sleeve length, and I'll cut down by 1.5 inches my shoulder slant. Now I'm going to connect it to that shoulder. Alright, when cutting out this material, also remember that you're going to add half an inch to this particular place we are marking now. So my neck width is 3.5 inches, and the neck depth for the back is 1.5 inches. That is for the back. 1.5. You can also use one if you want, but me I use 1.5 here, and the neck width is 3.5. I connect it together, and my neck width for my front is 8 inches. Sorry, neck depth for the front is 8 inches, and I'll connect it. Is a V neckline. So the neck depth for the front is 8 inches, while the neck depth for the back is 1.5, but both of them are the width of 3.5. So I'll come down by the opening I want to use 11 inches. You can use whatever thing you want. You can use 9, 10, 12, 15. You can just use, and I'll connect a straight line there to get my measurement. And the measurement I use there is my hip divided by 4. My hip is 40. If I divide it by 4, is 10 inches. And I'll add extra allowance of 4 inches. Now I'm going to take this on a straight line to the hem. The 14 I have here, I will be taking it till down. So after connecting it, I'll come back to this armhole, this armpit, and I'll come out by 2 inches like this. Now you come down by 4 inches. You're going to connect it to the sleeve length. Can you see? Just connect it. You just use your hand and curve that in. You must not measure it, but if you're finding it difficult, just do what I did now. So I will come down by 18 inches, which is my waist plus 1 inch. You know, my waist is 17 inches, and I came down by 18 inches. And from that 18 inches, I'm going to come down by 7 inches, and I will curve down my hand. Sorry, my camera did not capture it well, but when I cut it out, you will see the shape. Now I'll curve down this hand to meet that side. This is my pocket. So I cut it together with the pocket, and I'm going to cut it out. Can you see the shoulder added the half an inch? And here I'll cut it out. Just pay attention so that you see the shape of the pocket. Can you see? Can you see it? So this is the shape of the pocket. So you just get that 7 inches and you curve it out. All right, now you're going to push the back inside so that we can trim the front neck line. This is the front. Can you see it? After cutting it out, you cut your facing. So you just cut a little that neckline. Can you see? This is my facing for the front, and this one for the back. Now to turn it, you're going to open your front and place the facing on top like this. You can use your pin and hold it very well, and then you're going to sew it on your machine. Notch it very well. Now back stitch everything to the small facing. You're going to push everything to the small facing and sew on top, and then you turn it over. After turning it, you iron it very well, and this is what you have. I added a light interface on my facing, so you can also add yours if you want. Now this is how it looks like. Alright, so to determine where that stripe will start from is left for you. For me, I want the stripe to start a bit to stop at 33 inches. So let it stop at 33 inches because all my sewing will stop at 34 inches. Do you get? So the remaining will be my opening, and I'll draw a straight line. Then from there I will come up by 3 inches. So you can do 2 inches, you can also do 3 inches. Anyone is fine. So I'll come up by these 3 inches, and I'll also get it on a straight line because that is where I'm going to join my stripes. So the stripes I brought 4 inches. Alright, you just come in by 1 inch by the two sides because this is where your stripe is going to stop. Is going to start and is going to stop at that 1 inch. So this is the stripe I'm using. Is the one of 1 inch, and it's called velvet stripes. Alright, they sell it at tailoring material shop. You just go there and tell them velvet trims, velvet stripes. They will show you. So you determine how long you want your own, how short you want it. Is all by you, but anyhow the length you want, when you achieve the length you want, just make sure that your sewing starts from that 1 inch. Just sew it on a straight line. Don't worry, it will fall on its own. Sew it up and down, straight down. Don't bother about this one, it will fall on its own. Just sew from that 1 inch and go down, and sew the up too. So that is how to measure that thing. But for this one I'm using here, I use a length 68 inches, and I will just get the middle. Now I'll place it at the middle of my own dress. So you pin it down and you sew up and down on your machine. Sew up and down on your machine, and make sure you stop at that 1 inch, because when you're closing your cloth, when you're closing this gown now, you're going to sew on that 1 inch. You don't want to sew on top your stripes now. Can you see? This is what I was explaining. So everything stops at that 1 inch. Everything stops at that 1 inch. Can you see? Because when I'm closing this gown, I'm going to close it to that 1 inch. And now you're going to sew the shoulders together. And please don't forget, I say my stripes stop at 33 inches because my gown is going, I'm going to sew it till 34 inches and I will stop, and the remaining will be opening. Now go and join your shoulder. Just watch my hand. You join the facing to facing, and then the main fabric to the main fabric. And after joining it, you take your hemming gum and you iron it inside so that it can lay on the main dress, so that both of them will become one thing. Now you're going to fold the sleeve opening. That sleeve, fold it and run it straight, and after running it you close. So after that, you're going to close this material now. Put both of them together, arrange them very well, close it, and you're going to sew with 1 inch from your sleeve opening. You're going to sew 1 inch, and when you get to your pocket, you start sewing with quarter inch, 0.25. Just sew with that little, and when you get back to this your main material, you go in again by 1 inch. That's why I use that chalk, so that you understand what I'm saying. And before you sew, you're going to determine where all your sewing is going to stop at. Mine stopped at 34 inches. Yours can stop at 30, 32, anyhow. Just know that where your sewing stop is where your slit is going to start from. So you know what you want. After sewing, make sure that you notch the sides, notch the pocket up and down. Do the same thing to these two sides, then you turn it. You do the same thing to the two sides, then you turn it. so that the thing can lay flat. Then for this opening, you just go and set your material, weave it round, and then you sew it once straight down. But if you don't want to weave it, you just sew it later inside and fold a bigger one, and that is it. Thank you for joining. This is the end of the tutorial. I love you so much. Thanks for subscribing, and if you have not subscribed, please do where to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. It's that simple. Just take your time. You can fold it down too, or you can weave it, then you just fold it in once. Can you see? But me, I will be using the edge like this because it's kampala, but for you, just go and fold it. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you in my next one. Bye.